let's do some pelvic root activation. This can be used to bring energy to your body, bring vitality, help you gather your vital force so that you can live the life that you want. So you can be creative in the world, you can connect with your body and connect with people, share your love. You can penetrate, you can blossom, you can spill over, and you can share. Our bodies are such untapped resources. We have so much we can do in terms of cultivating connection and cultivating energy. Our pelvic root is, I call it kind of the whole area where where I'm sitting right now, my butt, my hips, my vulva, where my legs meet my body right here. This whole area is your pelvic root. The way I'm gonna show you is 3 things. We can do it with breath, we can do it with movement, and we can do it with visualization. So let's use some breath first. Usually we breathe here. Many of us are shallow breathers, and we also breathe just like this. Yet we have a whole, we are a 360 being. If you imagine that your whole self is a tube, imagine breathing front to back, and imagine breathing side to side. Even this right here, breathing here, then breathing in your belly, and then breathing into your root will activate that root and free up energy that you can use. Let's take 3 breaths together, starting with here. I'm blowing out slower through my mouth, which increases my breath volume. Now I'm going to breathe here. And now breathe with me down in the pelvis area if you're following along. And as I do it, I'm kind of releasing a little bit. I'm kind of melting. I'm pushing out my tummy. Many of us don't want to do that, but it's so vital. It brings a lot of juice. Now let's add another one where we make a sound. Okay, we're gonna make a growl as we try to breathe into this whole area, but especially keeping our attention on our root. Even that right there is more than most of us do to enliven our body. So we just did some breaths. We took fuller breaths. We took them more 360. We slowed them down by breathing out of our mouth, and then adding some sound on the exhale really helps us release. When we release more fully, then we can uptake more. You could do this when you're driving, like, Okay, so now we're gonna add in some movements. Okay, this sitting on the floor, you could sit on the floor, you could be cross-legged, you could be up on your hips on a pillow, you can do this in bed, you can lay there and do this. So I'm doing some simple hip circles. You're gonna go both ways. You can really exaggerate this and pull way back and way forward, all the way around. Again, feel your butt on whatever surface that you're on. I'm just on a bed. And then forward and back. Doing these for a couple minutes brings so much energy to this area, to the pelvic floor, to your whole area, but really it helps originate there because you're making that contact. So we've got our breath, we've got some circles, we've got some forward and back. And now we're gonna add some touch. So activating the pelvic root, we can do with slaps, percussion. I can make fists. I could do kind of more slapping. My kidneys on my butt. Combine this with keeping breathing and play with this. You could be big. You could just in bed do a little bit of light touches. The next thing we're gonna do is sweeping. We're gonna sweep the energy. We can sweep the energy from our legs down from our torso, imagining we're kind of coalescing. Here I'm sweeping energy down from my back, sweep energy up my legs, and gathering. all of this is the pelvic root activation. The next thing we can do, especially vulva. So if you have a penis, you know, this kind of sweeping, then you can, whether your penis grows erect or not, is kind of sweeping on your penis. If you're doing this on a partner, you could pull for them, pull away from here. You're not trying to bring someone to orgasm. You're just trying to coalesce the energy. If you have a vulva, pulling that energy toward, you might swirl. You might gather the energy like this. You might play a little bit like this. So just feel like what feels like it gathers energy. It could be really light. And then you're breathing into that area. What gathers energy? Most of us might feel a little bit of, you know, arousal or desire, and just be with that. Be like, oh, that's gathered root activation energy. I don't need to tip it over. I don't need to do anything with that. And I'm doing really light to really play with the different energies. Some of us respond to really light touch. Who am I when I'm rooted? Who am I when I'm activated? Who am I? What do I have to share when I bring more energy to my life? And then from this kind of activated state, you can play. You can be like, oh, okay. Notice if it kind of, you know, can bring all up through your throat. Bring this energy up your back. And then the third thing that we could do, we talked about the breath. We've talked about moving, you know, physical and touching ourselves. We did the moving with the circles in here. And then the gathering. And then the last thing is with pelvic root activation is like, what do I want to share? Now that I have a little bit more energy, where does that go? What would I do with more vitality? What places do I want to penetrate? Do I want to penetrate my work, my passion? Do I want to be more in communion with the world? Do I want to make my partner feel really seen, or the people that I love feel really seen? That is all activated, giving energy, providing energy. You can turn that toward yourself. How can I, from this place of more activation, really wake up the rest of my body? And sometimes it's really beautiful just to not have to you don't want it to go somewhere. It's just, oh, I want it to come to me for a while. I've been feeling not in touch with myself. So activated energy. The other things to do is think about, like, when you're through the day. I will do this a lot when I'm driving. I will just like, okay, you know, am I in my pelvic root? Does it feel alive? Sometimes when I go through a doorway, I might sashay my hips a little bit. For me, coming into my hips activates that. For some people with penises, it's like more front, coming into the idea of the root, the penis, erect penis there. For some, it is more their butt, you know, like if I'm really here, I will, when I sit, or that's when I'm gonna kind of, bam, I'm gonna activate myself. So have fun with this, play with this. Let me know what it's like to have more of a pelvic root activated.